Hi, my name is Kevin Harris. I used to be pro for Pal Peralta back in the 80s, and I'm going to show you two different tricks today. What kids nowadays ask me to do all the time once I pull them off at a skate park, and one's a two-board 360s. Okay, so back in the day when 360s were really popular in the 70s and coming into the 80s, I was up in Vancouver, Canada, and reading Skateboarding magazine, which was our Bible at the time as far as what was going on. And Southern California was the hot spots for skating, so we'd get that every month and just flip through it and go nuts. But there was no YouTube and no video and no DVDs and stuff, so to figure out that trick was very difficult to understand how to do it. One of the tricks that caught my attention was a guy out of Southern California named Steve Cathy, and he started doing a trick called two-board 360s, where you actually gyrate your spins and keep the momentum going on two boards. And as I was reading the magazines as the months progressed, he was doing 100, and then he did 120, and then he did 140. And what I was trying to do up in Vancouver, I was skating with my friends in my garage basically in a super small area, and I was beating that record, and who was I? I was some kid up in Vancouver, 2,000 miles away from the hotspot being in Southern California. So in 1979 at the Pacific Coliseum, there was the Canadian National Skateboard Association that put on a big event at the Pacific Coliseum. So I was 17 years old and asked to do this, super nervous in front of thousands and thousands of people. And at that point in time, the world's record, I think it was 160. So I had 5 judges, Guinness people watched me, and all these thousands of people in the crowd. When I went out there to do it and the lights dimmed and these spotlights came on, I was kind of freaking out that these lights were on me, so it was something I didn't foresee going into it. So I started to spin, and I'll go over and I'll show you how to do that, and as I'm spinning I'll talk to you guys and I'll tell you actually how many I ended up doing for the world's record, which still stands today. But hey, if somebody out there wants to try to learn this and beat my record, let's do it. Okay, so this trick basically is this, it all comes down to you can do more on two boards because the one foot, your right foot, is gyrating the spins and keeping the boards going. You're balancing on two boards, foot on both of the tails of the board, and you're winding up and you're starting to use your motion to get going. I mean, it starts out just like anybody learns how to ollie. When you can barely get the wheels off the ground, then you learn how to do it that high. It's the same thing. Nobody's gonna go out there and learn to spin 100. I tell everybody when they're learning any type of 360s, once you get to 10 on any type of 360s, you've got it. If you can do 10, you can get up to 100. Because once you get to 10 and you figure out that balance to get to 10, it's this every day you practice, you'll just keep beating that record. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, both my feet are gonna be on the tail of the board, and you get into a position like this. Once you lift both front of the wheels up on both boards, you actually start to push your body to rotate. So realistically, my left foot is really doing nothing with the board, and my right foot is the one that's making it turn. So this board's stationary, and this board's doing something to keep it going, and then I'm using my arms for balance. Okay, so Pacific Coliseum, 1979, last to break a world's record. I start spinning in front of thousands of people, spotlights on me, super nervous, 17 years old. I broke the record, got to 200. Crowds started stomping their feet, chanting 1,000. In my mind, I was like, are you kidding? I can't do 1,000, I wouldn't even come close. Anyway, ended up all the way to 1,032 consecutive 360s on two boards. I want you kids to go out and try to beat that. I want to be beat one day, that'd be cool. But yeah, 1,032 consecutive 360s. Yeah, and for the two board 360s, just keep with it, keep practicing it. And again, it's just like anything, it's skateboarding, it's a very difficult sport to learn. And you gotta remember when I was a kid, ollies and stuff weren't invented, so that's all we did was practice all the footwork tricks and learning how to spin, and that was the big thing back through the 70s, late 70s into the early 80s. So when you see me do that, that's a ton of hours into that and a lot of practice, when I was a teenager. But I've kept skating my whole life, so I'm really 50 and I still love to do it, and I'm gonna keep doing it.